3 juveniles now in custody following a potential threat to Hannibal Middle School. Hear from the school's superintendent on why parents were not immediately notified.
Authorities have been at Midwest Academy in Keokuk nearly all day, but not for a good cause. I'm Michael Pilarchi, and I'll tell you what's been going on straight ahead.
I'm Jenny Dreisler, and I'm live here outside of the Adams County Courthouse. Coming up, I'll tell you about some shocking new developments that just happened about an hour ago inside the courtroom.
This is KHQA News at 6, working for you.
Hello, everyone. Let's get right to breaking news out of the Midwest Academy in Keokuk, where an investigation of alleged sexual abuse has resulted in a massive search going on right now. KHQA's Michael Pilarchi joins us live from the Keokuk's Midwest Academy and has been tracking this story all afternoon. What's the situation, Michael?
Roger, the front entrance has been guarded for nearly 5 hours. I've been here since 1:30, and the Lee County Sheriff's Department is only letting in state and local officials to conduct a search warrant. Now, this stems from an investigation of alleged sexual abuse involving a staff member and a former student. Now, this is only one of 2 locations in the area. The other is in Montrose, Iowa, at another school that is connected with Midwest Academy. Now, early today, I spoke with a concerned parent whose daughter attends Midwest Academy. She says she had no idea what was going on when she was told to wait near the road.
He said that the kids were fine, but I mean, I still want to know what is happening.
Hopefully soon.
Yes.
There's nowhere else to go.
As of now, no arrests have been made, and both locations have currently ongoing investigations. Be sure to stay with KHQA News and follow us on social media as we continue to monitor this situation. Reporting in Keokuk, Michael Pilarchi, KHQA News.
Thank you, Michael. Well, 2 tri-state residents are behind bars accused of sexually abusing 2 juveniles. Hannibal police arrested 32-year-old Andrew Crook of Hannibal and 49-year-old Deanna Lang of Barry. They are now charged with first-degree sodomy in connection to the sexual abuse of a 9- and 10-year-old juvenile. Lang and Crook are in the Marion County Jail on $100,000 cash-only bond. 3 juveniles are now in custody for making threats against students and personnel at Hannibal Middle School. KHQA's Abigail James has been following this developing story all day and has the latest from the school district right now. Abby.
Raja, that's right. KHQA has received many phone calls and messages via social media from concerned parents wondering why they were not immediately notified of Tuesday's potential threat. This morning, I sat down with Hannibal School District Superintendent Susan Johnson to find that answer. Johnson told me Tuesday morning a parent came in with their student with something they heard or thought they had heard about a potential threat that some other students were talking about. It was then that a school resource officer was notified and started investigating. That is what next led to 3 male juveniles ages 13 to 14 to be placed into custody. Johnson says parents were not initially informed right away because she did not want to alarm them until she knew for sure what they were dealing with.
I have to be careful about some of the things that I do share, and please to be understanding of that. I'm not trying to keep information from them, but I do not want to compromise the investigation, because whether someone is innocent or guilty or some wrongdoing has or hasn't taken place, everyone deserves to have things looked into in an appropriate manner.
According to Hannibal Police Department, the juveniles were released to the 10th Circuit Juvenile Justice Office. Superintendent Johnson was unable to provide specific details about the threat, though she did say it was essentially that there could be some sort of incident at the middle school in the future.
Thank you for entrusting your children to our safety. Please know we take that very seriously, and as a result of that, this is being handled in the utmost top priority.
This is an ongoing investigation. Be sure to stick with KHQA through our newscast as well as social media, as we will deliver more information as we receive it. Reporting live in studio, Abigail James, KHQA News.
Thank you, Abigail. Now you're looking at a list of some of the deadliest school shootings that have happened over the years. The most recent happening this year in Canada, where 4 people died. In 2012, a shooter at Sandy Hook Elementary School claimed the lives of 20 elementary school children and 6 employees. Also in 2012, a former student killed 7 people and hurt 3 more at an Oakland, California college. Then there was the 2007 Virginia Tech shooting that claimed the lives of 32 people. And finally, in 1999, 2 teenagers took the lives of their 13 classmates and then killed themselves in Colorado. Court records show that a Hannibal man has now pleaded guilty for an officer-involved shooting a year ago. DeMark Rudd was sentenced to 12 years in prison for resisting arrest and property damage. Police say he was trying to escape when a Hannibal officer tried to make contact with him about a parole violation on January 24th, 2015. Rudd was sentenced to a total of 12 years in prison for resisting arrest and property damage. A passenger in Rudd's vehicle received a non-life-threatening gunshot wound from a Hannibal police officer responding to that scene. Well, here's what's new in day 4 in the Curtis Lovelace murder trial. Some tense moments today as jurors watch an interrogation video of Lovelace on the day he was arrested. KHQA's Jenny Drasler joins us live from the Adams County Courthouse with new details about what transpired in the courtroom today.
Well, Raja, it was a completely different day inside courtroom 2A today here inside the Adams County Courthouse as both sides really pulled off the gloves and really took out the claws today. And a lot of new light was shed on this case, especially in the late afternoon. Now, about 40 people did pack inside that courtroom today, and the jury saw a 2-hour taped interview between Detective Adam Gibson and Curtis Lovelace back on the day that he was arrested in August of 2014. Now, Gibson asked Lovelace during that taped interview why he didn't call 911 or even perform CPR on Corey. His response, Lovelace said, quote, "It was apparent to me she was white and cold. Maybe it was shock. All I could think about was Larson. I didn't want him walking in," end quote. But probably the most telling information came when defense attorney Jay Elmore grilled Detective Gibson, who started this entire investigation, on why there are so many contradictions in the time that rigor sets in. Dr. Shakutis told Gibson that it sets in 30 minutes, but in his interrogation of Lovelace, Gibson states rigor sets in at 3 hours. And in his testimony to the grand jury, Gibson stated it took 6 to 12 hours. It was after pointing this out that Gibson later admitted on the stand that he had not been objective in his investigation of Curtis Lovelace. Again, a lot more did go on inside the courtroom today. We have that in full on our website right now at KHQA.com. And looking ahead to tomorrow, follow me on my Twitter as well as Facebook page for the very latest. Reporting live outside the Adams County Courthouse, Jenny Drasler, KHQA News.
Now, your 7 Storm Team first forecast.
And most of us woke up to sunshine today, but the clouds did come in later this afternoon. Nevertheless, it was a very mild day across the tri-states on a late January day. Temperature still very mild outside as we take a look at those current conditions. 37 degrees is that temperature. That wind's been around from the northwest at 12 miles per hour. Feels like the upper 20s, but not too terrible for this time of year. Now, temperatures across the area are in the mid-30s there in the north. We are still hanging on to 40 degrees in Jacksonville and hanging on to 41 degrees down for you folks in Hannibal. There's a satellite radar. You can see the clouds continuing to stream in, although they are starting to break up just a little bit. And once those clear skies start to come in, that temperature will start to drop. We'll see partly cloudy skies, I think, through the night tonight. Temperature will drop to 33 degrees by midnight. And that wind will continue out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. However, by the time we wake up tomorrow, those winds are going to start to come out of the south. That's important because it's going to warm up our temperatures. We're going to see more sunshine tomorrow. Temperatures are going to get up to near 50 degrees. And that's not all. I'll explain in my full forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Raja, back to you.
Thank you, Dave. Well, you are now taking a live look at Keokuk Middle School. That's where Hillary Clinton is scheduled to appear in just 90 minutes. Well, right now they are sweeping the area for the Secret Service, and media are not allowed back in for another 10 to 15 minutes. We will live stream tonight's campaign stop on KHQA.com, and we will have more on her Lee County appearance tonight at 10 o'clock. Here's a look ahead also to 10 o'clock. If you plan to do your own taxes this year, expect a few extra loopholes. Tune in tonight to find out about a new security feature that could delay your refund. Still to come, it has been 30 years since we first witnessed that Challenger explode. We will speak with a Quincy teacher who could have easily been on that spaceship. Next on KHQA News at 6.
You're watching KHQA News at 6, working for you.
New in Quincy tonight, a moped and a car crash early this morning, sending one person to the hospital. It happened here at 28th and Harrison shortly before 8 a.m. Police say the person driving the moped was taken to Blessing Hospital with head injuries. The cause of that crash is under investigation. Well, 30 years ago today, the Challenger space shuttle broke apart 73 seconds after launch live on television. All on board were killed. Teacher Krista McAuliffe was the chosen passenger after winning the 1985 Teacher in Space project. Well, Quincy educator John Baird was 11th runner-up in that project out of 11,000 applicants.
Most of the Teacher in Space candidates had been down in Florida for the full week prior to that because the launch was supposed to take place on the 27th. And when they canceled that because of cold weather, most but not all of us came back home. So I was in my classroom.
3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Well, you felt elation because the mission had just begun. And, you know, it was a great opportunity for not just educators, but to at least help move forward the entire idea of what space was all about and what the program could help for the future of mankind. Many of us were in contact with other people, some who had stayed. And those who stayed felt sorry for those of us who went back home. Those of us who were back home felt sorry for those that were there because it was just, you know, such a tragic thing. Space is kind of that overall horizon out there that is going to continue to expand, and if we can get a lot of students interested in doing something that might be related to it in one way or another, this country and this world is going to be better off.
And liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Oh, what a sight. I'm sure you remember it. Well, new at 6 o'clock, Illinois medical marijuana advocates say they want the state to expand its medical marijuana program. The Medical Cannabis Outreach Group delivered 25,000 signatures to Governor Bruce Rauner ahead of his State of the State address. They say the program should include 7 conditions, including post-traumatic stress disorder. The state's first medical marijuana dispensaries opened back in November of 2015. And here's what's new at Hannibal Regional Healthcare. The system there has received Service Excellence Awards and 5-star ratings from Health Grades. It's for the quality of its interventional cardiology care and orthopedic joint replacement procedures. Hannibal Regional is now in the top 5% in the nation for coronary interventional procedures. It's ranked in the top 10% for joint replacements.
And if you like today's warm weather, just wait till you see the rest of the forecast. That's coming up next.
Now, your exclusive 7 Storm Team forecast.
Welcome back, everybody. Our sleep tight weather view takes us to one of my favorite places on earth. This is Waimea Bay on the north shore of Oahu in Hawaii. And we've had a lot of active weather out on the Pacific, and those weather patterns generate swells that travel all the way across the ocean and give Hawaii some of its notorious big waves there on the north coast. Pretty cool stuff. Well, it was warm today. Didn't quite feel like Hawaii out there, but definitely on the warmer side of things here in the tri-states. We got up to 46 degrees today in Quincy. That is 11 degrees above our average. And take a look. Our low today, 33 degrees, was actually 2 degrees below our average high for this time of year. So definitely on the warmer side of things right now for this time of year. And still very mild outside as we go to Macomb. Still 2 degrees above freezing, 34 degrees. We've seen that cloud cover move in. Had sunshine earlier for a lot of us, but yeah, the clouds have started to trickle on in. And we do have that wind out of the northwest as well at 10 miles per hour. So it's definitely still chilly, but really not too terrible. And still holding on to the 40s out in Jacksonville and down south there in Hannibal. And for some of our southern viewers, very, very mild conditions. Now the satellite and radar showing those clouds still moving in from the south, from the northwest, but we're seeing some breaking up of the cloud cover right now. And once those clouds break apart, we see more clear skies. That temperature will start to drop a little bit, but we're going to remain dry. The precipitation is out to the east still, and we're still kind of in a battle between this low pressure system up to the north and high pressure at the surface over towards the plain states. And that's what's keeping us dry right now, even though we have the cloud cover cover is this high pressure. It's really starting to build in. And what's going to happen is it's going to play a pivotal role in our weather here coming up. It's going to shift off to the south here by tomorrow afternoon. Now, because it shifts off to the south, our winds are going to start to come out of the south, and that means we're going to see a warm up, even warmer than what we got today. In fact, temperatures could reach 50 degrees in parts of the viewing area. And not only that, we're going to see a little more sunshine tomorrow as well. Now, another factor coming in here, there's going to be a system off to our north, well off to our north, not particularly powerful. It's going to be snow up in the Minnesota area, but for us, I think we're going to remain dry. We could see a little bit of cloud cover, but what this system is going to do is shift our winds out of the southwest, and that's going to warm us up even more. So by this weekend, we're going to be talking about temperatures well above average with quite a bit of sunshine out there. Check out our weekend forecast here. Temperatures getting up into the mid-50s by Saturday. Lots of sunshine, and by Sunday, 53 degrees for a high. More clouds coming in, though, as we track the next big system across the area. Lows tonight will get down into the mid to upper 20s, so it'll be cold, but not too unreasonable. And highs tomorrow will get up into the upper or mid 40s to upper 40s. Again, could see some parts of the tri-states getting up towards 50 degrees, especially for our southern and western viewers. And the warm temperatures are going to keep on coming, at least for the next few days here going into the weekend. Going to be fantastic weather to get on outside, especially. Not going to make it feel like January, that's for sure. And then we do track this next storm system. All good things must come to an end, I suppose. And just in time for Groundhog Day, I like that little guy, we're going to see precipitation start to form Monday, especially into Tuesday. Right now, it looks like it's going to be all in the form of rain. Some areas of the country might get a lot of snow, but I think we might see maybe just a few flakes trying to wrap it on the backside. And then a cold front comes through, makes us feel much more like wintertime. But for now, get out and enjoy that weather. It looks really nice.
And as I mentioned last night, it's been 5 years, February 1st, since that 2 feet of snow that we got here in the tri-states.
That was a good one.
Yeah. All right. Chris Stewart has a look at your sports next.
Now, from across the tri-states, this is KHQA Sports.
Well, he is a cornerstone on one of the hottest basketball teams in our entire area right now. And on the heels of leading the Unity Mustangs to 7 straight wins, Will Wilson profiles Adam Donley, Saw style.
The big stage has never scared Unity's Adam Donley. Since he was a freshman, the now senior has earned his varsity letters as a 3-sport athlete. In turn, the experience has helped him develop an unquestionable work ethic.
It was crazy, especially when I was a freshman. It was really hard to make sure I had everything in line, but I always make sure I get my homework done first. School's always the first part of it, and then sports comes later. But when I was a freshman at 3 sports, it was intense. Just going from 8th grade practice right into varsity, it was a huge difference.
As a sophomore, Donley was a key piece to the Mustangs' trip to the state basketball tournament. In an unseemingly run Unity went on that season, Donley can't believe he was a part of it so young.
There was one point where I think someone said that if they were going to rank all the teams in Adams County, Unity was going to be last that year. But we ended up being the top team, so it's amazing. Just every time I see the sign or I look up in the gym and I see the banner, I just think about it, and it's so amazing. It's like I still can't imagine how amazing that's going to be, like 20 years from now. I'll still be able to look back on it.
Growing up fast has made Donley feel he's been walking through the halls at Unity for much longer than the last 4 years. As all good things must come to an end, he won't be going to college very far, with a basketball program that would welcome a crafty veteran with open arms.
Tentatively, I'm looking at accounting, and I'll be at John Wood next year. It would be amazing to play with Coach Hoyt. We go to a camp every summer and spend 3 days with Hoyt, and he's a really good guy, and I really like the program. They've had success in the past really well.
With this basketball season still in the balance, the growth of Donley as a person and player is apparent, especially his leadership, which resonates to everyone around him.
Always when I've been younger, there's been guys, there's been Andrew or Lane, they've been here, helped me out, and now that I'm older, I just guess I have to be the guy, so it's just be a model for the younger guys to look up to.
Now, back in early December, we recognized Highland All-State pitcher Dana Flanagan with our Student Athlete of the Week award, and we can happily update her college status as of this afternoon, as Dana signed in Marshall, Missouri today to play softball with Mo Valley. Flanagan struck out 232 batters, among the top totals in the area this season, and she was a stalwart for the Lady Cougars the last couple of seasons. That's it for me. We've got more signing news coming up tonight at 10 and huge games for Quincy University on the road at Drury, highlights of the men and women, and much, much more. We'll see you then, everybody.
Welcome back, everyone. It's been a very busy day here in the KHQA newsroom. We have a lot happening. The Curtis Lovelace murder trial day 4 just wrapped up about a little more than an hour ago, and you can find everything that happened right now at KHQA.com. We'll also have a recap of what happened tonight on KHQA News at 10. We have an investigation going on in Keokuk at an academy, a boarding school, where there are allegations of sexual abuse. We'll have a complete wrap-up tonight on KHQA News at 10. We have a potential threat thwarted at a Hannibal Middle School. And in about 30 minutes, Hillary Clinton will be speaking at Keokuk Middle School. We're going to be live streaming what she has to say on KHQA.com. But you know what? There's sunshine out, and we have all enjoyed it.
Yes, there was sunshine earlier today. We're going to see a lot more of that coming up in the next few days, so the weather's cooperating at least.
All right. Have a great night, everyone, and we hope you will join us tonight at 10.